For uneven bars, we're starting with our special requirements. Requirement number 1, minimum of a B skill to a clear support at vertical. So we're now requiring, if you remember in the diamond division, we required 45 degrees above horizontal. We're now in handstand. So please remember, this can be a cast, but it's anything clear that goes to vertical. So that could be a giant. There are a lot of options there that cannot be in the mount or the dismount. Number 2, a minimum of a B 360-degree circling skill. Number 3, a minimum of a B release, turn, or second circle. If they choose the second circle, it must be different from number 2. And in the code, if you look on bars page 10, it talks about recognition and counting of value parts in terms of same and different. But that's recognition of value parts, okay? Right now, we're talking about special requirements. So when it says different here, it means it needs to be a different skill, not just it needs to have a different entry or exit, okay? So hopefully that clears that up. Number 4, a minimum of a B dismount or a C directly connected to an A salto dismount. Please remember that one value part may be used to fill more than one special requirement unless it's otherwise noted. Okay, so for example, if somebody does a back giant on bars, that could fulfill both number 1 and number 2. In terms of value parts, we're looking for a minimum of 3 A's, 3 B's, and 1 C. The C is eligible for bonus, even though it's required. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the specific bonus section. Should they fulfill all of these things, the start value would be 9.6. It's technically a 9.7 because they'd already have their 1/10 of bonus from that one required C, but 9.6 is where we start before we add those bonus tenths in. Special requirement number 3, just a couple clarifications here. A clear hip circle on the low bar and a clear hip circle on the high bar are not considered different for special requirement, even if they have a different entry and exit. Again, that's in terms of recognizing same and different for value parts. That doesn't really have anything to do with special requirements. Letter B there, the release can occur in the mount, but not the dismount, and turn cannot occur in either the mount or the dismount. A pirouette may fulfill the turn requirement. The 3 plus the 5, so the 3/10 for no dismount plus the 5 for the special requirement of the dismount occurs when the dismount has no value part, not listed in the code or restricted. She falls and never initiates the salto, or there's no dismount, say she gets injured and terminates the exercise early. So if she's swinging down and she starts to initiate that salto, but say she peels, if that was just like she initiated the salto, but then it didn't really go, you would not take the 3. Say she's coming down on the backswing from that giant and she lets go and just kind of drops to the ground and never initiated the salto. That's when you would take that 3. So exceptions to the no 3/10 deductions, the coach spots the dismount, no value part. And because you didn't give value part, then you cannot give special requirement and 5/10 for the spot. She initiates the salto or doesn't land on the feet, no value part, 5/10 for the special requirement, 5/10 for the fall. Or if she does a dismount not meeting the division criteria, say she does a giant circle, which is a B, to just a simple layout flyaway. Well, that wouldn't meet the division requirement, but she did do a dismount as listed in the Excel code. So you would not take the 3/10 there. All right, bonus for the Sapphire division. So the routine starts from a 9.6. Sapphire needs 4/10 of bonus to achieve that 10.0 start value. We can achieve bonus in 2 different ways in the Sapphire division. It can be from difficulty bonus and or connection bonus, B plus B or higher. The difficulty bonus would be a C/D. We'll get into that a little bit more on the next slide because there are a couple caveats there. And then the B plus B or higher. The big difference in the Excel program to the Dev program on this bonus, there's no requirement that you have to achieve bonus in both categories to have a 10.0 start value. Each C is eligible for 1/10 bonus. Yes, even the required C. In addition, you can give 1 D bonus per event. Additional Ds are permitted. They're just not given the 10th of bonus for difficulty. If there's a fall on the first D attempted, they can receive bonus later in the routine for repeating the same D. There's no limit to the number of Ds performed in the routine. Note that is different from level 9. E skills are restricted in the Sapphire division. So combination bonus B plus B or higher is 1/10 each. So that means B plus B, 1/10, B plus C, 1/10, D plus D, 1/10. Obviously very different than the dev program. The only option for connection bonus is 1/10, and it's any B plus B or better. B plus B can include any combination, which includes mounts and dismounts. Same value part may be used for difficulty bonus and connection bonus. And you can receive difficulty bonus only one time, but maybe you use that same skill in a connection for connection bonus. As we can see on the chart right here, we know in the other divisions in the Excel program, it's the within 10 degrees and then you take the 1/10 and still give the special requirement. In the Sapphire division, we're giving a variance of 20 degrees. So if they're within 10, there's no deduction. From 10 to 20. You take that flat 1 if you're using it for special requirement, and then you go ahead and give that. Past 20 degrees, then you would not give that. Here, the execution, if you are using a clear support to fulfill special requirement, just the same as we saw in the cast. So if it's within 10, you're not going to take a deduction. You're going to award the special requirement. From 11 to 20, you would take that flat 1 if you're using it for special requirement again. And then past 20 degrees, you would not award the special requirement. We felt it would be of value to add these charts for circling elements, deductions, and how you would take those. You'll notice the 11 to 20 there is different. It's an 05. Just as a reminder, that 1/10 only applies for special requirement. If you're any other circle, clear hip circle or otherwise, if you're not using it for special requirement, that 11 to 20 is an 05 deduction. All right, and then we have our turning chart. So whether those are amplitude at the completion of the turn or the new chart from this year, the turns that descend on the same side of the bar, same as the dev program, we adopted those as well.
And that concludes the rapid review for bars for the Sapphire division of Excel. Thank you, Megan and Kylie.